Looks like we are live on Zoom. Now, let's see about. Yes, there we are, live on YouTube. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to New Light Streaming Love. This is live on New Light Streaming Love. If you are watching this after the fact on Sassy Seer Sheila, would love to have you come over and subscribe here on New Light Streaming Love, as this is where I do the majority of my lives. Now, to the most obvious fact at hand, I said that I was going to do a live on, I think it was Monday, and then I even tried again on Tuesday. And I don't know what exactly happened. But I will tell you this. Okay, so on Monday, um, my housemate was again released from the hospital, and there was just too much going on. I could not make it Monday evening. So I tried to do for Tuesday. Somehow or another on Tuesday, and it happened again Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. All this week is very interesting how this has gone. And then I discovered that we had a couple of blasts from the sun on Monday. And for me, now, everybody is going to have, their own mileage on this. But for me personally, whenever the sun throws off, especially some very high powered coronal mass ejections, I end up with all kinds of pain and a lot of chest pain and a shortness of breath, and it makes it very difficult for me, well, really to do much of anything. I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of pain involved when this happens for me. And so there was just no way. By the time I normally come and do a live in the morning, I was wiped for the day. I just, just trying to do the normal, getting ready and having coffee and, that sort of thing took me out. And then the rest of the day, it was just struggling to breathe and be still and get my center. So if you yourself have been having any kind of uh, thing like that going on, you too may find that you are sensitive to the electromagnetic field of the earth. Oh, wow, that's going to be a little glary, isn't it? Because that's what, when I first started taking my health back into my own hands, back in 2013, 2014, and was getting myself off of all of the pain medications that the allopathic doctors had me so hopelessly hooked on. Um, I started keeping a pain journal so I could try to figure out what all was causing the pain and what was I thinking, what was I doing, what was happening. And at that time, I was very much paying attention to a YouTube channel called Suspicious Observers. Ben Davidson at Suspicious Observers believes in the electric universe theory. And he's done a lot of research and a lot of information about it. And he was reporting on the state of the Earth's magnetic field every morning. And I happened to notice by correlation of my pain journal that every single time there was intensified activity between the sun and the earth, and those magnetic fields were in flux or aggravated in some way, my pain level would go through the roof. And so, not to any surprise of myself, when this all happened, I found out that there was some pretty powerful CMEs that were thrown off by the sun on Monday. and they have aggravated the Earth's electromagnetic field ever since. Now, today, I believe, I'm not quite sure for us specifically, I just did a recording. You'll find it on the channel a little bit later today. Uh, between today and yesterday, so that means we are still in the energy of it, even if it was yesterday. We had the new moon in Pisces, and I feel like I don't know how to explain it. It was like night and day difference. I and even right now I'm having a little bit of it's not pain in my chest, but there is, and it started about this time every single day. So it's very interesting. But I don't know, the overall energy feels different to me today than it has for the last several days. And so, am I going to say, I have to run some errands today, but I wanted to make sure and come and do this morning. But it is my intention to try to do a live hangout session tonight, intuitive hangout session, because I just love doing those. You guys are so helpful and instrumental, really, in helping me tune myself into hearing my inner. And if you would like to join me for that, my intention is to start it between 7 and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not quite sure exactly, and I'm not promising that I will be there. But because, by the time I do these errands and come home and get everything put away and all of that, there's a lot involved in this, a lot of lifting that I don't normally do because right now my water machine that I had is not functional. And so I've been trying to find good water that's not labeled liquid death like other waters are. And, so there's a lot of back and forth because I can't just carry a case. And so it will depend on how I feel, and whether or not I can just manage it. So if I can, and if the best way to make sure you are notified is to be subscribed and to hit the notification bell so that you would get a notification of my going live or uploading a video. Other than that, I don't really advertise. Sometimes when I really want folks to come, I will put out a notification ahead of time on my Facebook page. Sometimes if I'm nudged, I share it around to a couple of different groups I belong to, but I haven't really been nudged to do that of late. And I think part of that is that it feels to me like folks have to want to know things. And, so I leave it to each because here's the deal for me. If you're here, and I notice there are two folks, and one of them probably is me from my other channel as I'm using my phone to watch for the any comments. If you find yourself here during a live, more than likely something that I will be sharing is meant for you to hear. Or if you tune in at a later time, the same goes, then it's meant for you in those moments to hear. And that's the way I feel about it for myself. And again, your individual mileage will absolutely vary where those sorts of things are concerned, because that's part of the whole point. I always feel, when folks try to say, "Oh, it's this way," and it's, so rigid that it has to be this way. Well, no, that's not how it is at all. If we are all one, which I really do feel we are, and yet singular all at the same time, which we are also, the whole point is the uniqueness. And each of us is an accumulation of every single thing that has gone before, which means that you're going to understand the words that I say according to your own experiential filter. And this is true across the board for everyone. And this is why I say that we all actually, while maybe speaking English, are speaking our own version of it because words really do. There's a whole big difference between denotation and connotation. And so it is a unique situation for each. Okay, boy, oh boy, do we got a really cool read here today. And the fairies want to be first. Spirit Dancer came out, and she is card number 36, which is a 9 numerologically. She is part of the fairy guides and guardians. And let's see, Spirit Dancer. The key words here for Spirit Dancer, and this is for anyone who's wondering, The Fairies Oracle by Brian Froud and Jessica Macbeth. The key words for Spirit Dancer are self-expression, freedom, exploration. The Spirit Dancer understands both sides of self-expression. In the wow, I can't help but see that when I just got through saying all about how we each speak a different language, and because it's all about expression, right? It's all about how we communicate or express ourselves, and we can't do anything about how others receive that expression, by the way. And just because they don't understand it or they don't like it or they can't take it in doesn't mean that you are automatically wrong, although some would have you believe that. It is possible to be right for oneself and completely wrong for someone else. And that's what I mean when I say we're moving out of duality. No longer can I see that things are either true or false, because they can be true for me and false for you all at the same time and be absolutely correct both ways. So the Spirit Dancer understands both sides of self-expression. In the first stage, we get our inner vision, feelings, and creative impulse out into the world through our art, whatever that is. Then our expressions are reflected back to us from the mirror of other people's perceptions. And we discover what our art awakens in them, which is also what I just said. I feel I can see it right there. First and most important, for many of us, we learn, grow, and lead more satisfying lives if we have ways of expressing our inner world. That's part of what this is. Because what you have here really is just me expressing myself to me. Because while you are sitting on the other side of this, watching me live, I'm really just looking at the mirror, talking to myself. And I know that all of this is for me and expressing myself. And this is a really great way for me to get in there and hear myself. Such expressions can be a way of helping ourselves better understand our feelings and experiences, or they can be a way of getting pain out where we can look at it and let it begin to heal, which is another thing that I've been able to do by doing this. Creative expression is a method of exploring our own truth, bringing it into the light so that we can see it more clearly and maintain sanity. The key words here are explore, experiment, and express. As this fairy critically remarked to one oracle reader, the death of Spirit Dancer is perfection. Second creative expression is a way of sharing and letting others see more of our true selves. It is a way that we can reach out from this illusion of separation and reaffirm our essential connections with one another. When we share a dance, a painting, or a poem with others, we do so with the hope that they will see something of what we have put into it, and that will be their experience. Wait a minute. We do so with the hope that they will see something of what we have put into it, and that will be able to add something to their experience. No, see, I have a vertical imbalance in my eyes. Please forgive me while I get a little bookmark here to follow along. Okay, sorry about that. When we share a dance, a painting, or a poem with others, we do so with the hope that they will see something of what we have put into it, and that their experience will echo ours in some way. But if we have done well, we will be able to add something to their experience. At the same time, we understand that their slant on things is a bit different, and that what they reflect back to us by their response will perhaps contain something we haven't seen about our own experience, a new insight, a different view, an expansion of our picture of reality, which is also why I adore having conscious conversations with people, because it's a way for me to do just that: express, expand, and experiment in ways that are really, you can't really do alone. So, this side of creative expression, the sharing part, enriches us in a different way than the actual creation. I've never written a poem or sculpted something without the experience changing me, and then changing me again when I shared it with others. This is something I've heard many others say, including many who do not consider themselves, quote, real artists or, quote, real writers. Spirit Dancer encourages us to take creative action from our place of personal power, the inner core of true feelings and understanding within us. She wants us to clarify our vision and find the creative potential that lies hidden in paradox, confusion, and chaos, and turn these into a free flowing, finely balanced, evolving order. She wants to aid us in making our best fantasies real. She also is very enthusiastic about helping us to learn to dance well with the fairies if we don't already know how. And if we do know how, she would still be delighted to dance with us just for the fun of it. Step out boldly. Now is the time to focus and really concentrate on a project or process, especially one involving the creative arts. Spontaneity, balanced by self discipline, will help us achieve our goals. Strive for elegance and simplicity. This is a time to bring out and share qualities that we have nurtured in private. And I find it very interesting, being that we are also in the new moon energy, because that is the perfect time for setting intentions, for beginning something new. So very interesting that this card come out today, I find, for myself anyway. I think that's really quite interesting. Now, we had two cards come out from the Alchemy Elementals. We also had from the Surrender deck, surrender your belief in scarcity, because you know what? All of us have been taught from very young ages that there's not enough. If you're in your 60s, as am I, 63, I'm sure you probably heard about the starving children in Africa and how you had to clean your plates because there are children who would love to have what you're having for dinner that can't, I mean, at least that's what happened to me. And so, this belief that there is not enough is not true on any sort of level. To be honest, we throw away so much in this country, and I'm sure others as well. That is perfectly good items that, it's just ridiculous. It is meant to keep that consumption wheel going. So it says the universe is asking you to open the infinite nature of abundance. In this way, you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dreams. The truth of the matter is, and Lisa has really helped me with this one. Her team had shared with her that the true meaning of abundance is having what one needs as one needs it. We worry way too much about the future and we ruminate about the past, which keeps us out of the here and now, to be honest with you. For me, I can see that so very clearly. And so to worry unnecessarily that, oh, I'm not going to have enough next month, so I have to da 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 da, whatever this is ridiculous because next month isn't even here. I have no idea what next month will bring for me. And so if I am going to believe that I'm creator, I have to root myself into the here and now and know that true abundance means having what one needs or requires in the moment that it is required or needed. And so far, that really has shown itself in some very beautiful ways for me personally. Okay, so on to the Alchemy Elementals by Shaman Direct. I just love this deck. It is so beautiful. This card, we have not had it. Card number 49, which is a 4 numerologically. Sky, lightning, moon. And wow, the artwork on this card. Sky, lightning, moon is on page 65, which is a master number 11. So let's get to page 65 here. And I did tell y'all we have 2 of these came out this morning from this deck. Sky, lightning, moon. When life kicks you in the ass or knocks you down or throws a big old handful of dirt in your face, the most important thing you can do to support yourself through the experience is to feel it and to acknowledge your suffering. When we go through intense and painful experiences, as every human being does, that suffering opens up doorways in our consciousness that expand our perspectives and give us deeper understanding of ourselves and humanity. These experiences transform our understanding of the world and allow us to perceive from a higher level of intelligence. Our intuition grows stronger. We become aware of new concepts, new structures, and new patterns. All because we allowed these challenging moments to shape us and to transform us. Allow yourself to feel the pain you are enduring, to acknowledge that pain, and to follow it through the portals of expansion that are there to deliver you. Wow. That is so true. I have really come to see where there are things in my life that were very painful and traumatic experiences, and I labeled them in such a way at first while moving through them that I now hold in a wholly different light. It's just very interesting how all of that happens. And the next one that came out from the alchemy elementals was water, river, earth. That was card number 28, which is a one numerologically, the I am, a beginning. And card number 42, or page number 42, which is a six numerologically, all about balance, love, harmony. 46. Nope, that can't be right. I must have seen that wrong. Water, river, earth. 42, not 46, because it was a six. That's how I got messed up there. Okay. 42. Here we go. I always see that as whenever I see anything that looks like that, it always reminds me of the DNA structure, you know? Shaman are trained to see beyond third dimensional constructs and constraints so that they can perceive what is happening beyond the veil multidimensionally. Dear human, if you could see all the resources, gifts, and potential that your vessel holds, yes, yours, you would literally bow before yourself in awe and wonder. You carry within you an overwhelming spring of mental, emotional, and spiritual technology that you have inherited from your ancestors and accumulated through your own experience. Wow, I know this to be true because I can feel it now for all of us, not just myself, but all of us, and in very unique ways. Again, which was absolutely needed and required. There is no need to seek outside help or answers or knowledge. You have everything you could possibly need inside you. Tap into what you already know and what you already hold in your heart and spirit. Share and expand your inner resources so as to allow them to grow. The more you consult with yourself instead of seeking external support, the more your inner knowingness expands. I feel that to be true. Now, the truth for me on that is, however, for me, and again, your knowledge or your feeling about this, your experience will absolutely vary. But for me, where that is concerned, it because of all the programming and conditioning we've all gone through and are still moving through, for myself, the unwinding and unbinding, friend of mine, BZ Rieger, used to say, right? The unwinding and unbinding of all of that programming and conditioning that we've all had in varying different ways. It can be easier to do that in company. And so for me personally, having others that are moving through these things in their own unique ways that I can chat with has been so instrumental in my own, which is why I offer that to anyone who wishes to have a chat. And in truth, it's one of the things that I take issue with most light workers about when one has developed a way that has worked for them and then they teach it as though this is the way. it could help, but it might not be the way for everyone. And that was the whole problem I had with, religion as on a whole as well. Everybody thinks they have the one way to get from here to there, when in fact, that is not how it works on any sort of level. And it could never work that way because you're unique. All of us are quite unique, and again, this is why I like doing the intuitive hangout sessions, because it helps me get in here and listen to me more. I ask myself these questions, and I am learning how to trust the answers that I receive for myself. So the last card we have here is from my Rumi Oracle, and it is card number 5, which is all about change for me. That's how I see this card. The number 5. I surge on the uprising wave of love. My life can be summed up in 3 accounts. I was raw, I was cooked, and I was burned. Rumi. I surge on the uprising wave of love. No gravity can stop me from rising. The moon pulls the tide of life towards her, and my soul, in oneness with all of life, answers her call. A wave of love consumes me, and upwards I fly, flying through water to greet her shining body. Led by my own heart, my wits are addled, and my mind becomes a blurry mess. And so I feel the truth of her love and the divine reflection she shines back at me from her radiant heart. Need to get me another place marker here. Greater forces of planetary movements affect us all. Now, isn't that interesting? Because as I said, I just recorded something about the new moon, and there are 6 planets all lined up in a stellium in Pisces. So very interesting that this one happens to appear. We experience day and night through the interplay of the earth, sun, and moon. This is a profound and obvious effect. The movements of the cosmos affect us deeply, body and soul. Some movements are perhaps less obvious in form, but are just as great, if not more so, in effect upon our spiritual growth and life experiences. You are going through a cycle, or very soon will be, by which you will be moved by forces greater than your own personal will. Well, that's kind of interesting, again, given what I just recorded. This is a karmic period, a time during which the movements of greater planetary bodies will have an impact upon the earth and humanity. Wow. This is the way of things. Greater cycles affecting smaller ones. The smaller ones are not less important, but they do have to bow to the power of the great in oneness with the magnificent unfolding divinity that is life itself. What we always have at our disposal is choice. Choice as to how we respond to these affecting movements and cycles. The effect of this karmic cycle now unfolding in your life is to bring you into sweet surrender and awakening into greater love. What a delicious divine destiny. However, even if we sense at one level that a shift has a positive end in store for us, we can encounter resistance and fear born of the ego in response to the stirring of spiritual uprising. We may quake in our holy body and wonder if everything is getting out of control and into some disorder. I just went through that this week. I just got through saying earlier in this live how all this week I have had issues within my physicality. And I cannot make this up, man. Wow. We may quake in our holy body and wonder if everything is getting out of control and into some disorder. We will be right in our sense of imminent chaos. The disorder, however, is the ego perspective because its range of vision is too small, too limited to comprehend the greater workings of the planetary system that move life towards love. That is as it should be. The teacup is not made to hold the ocean, just actually a cup of tea. But if we begin to imagine that the cup of tea is preferable to the ocean simply because it is more containable, how much we miss out on. And how terrifying when we actually are thrown into the ocean and moved by it. Its sheer power, its wild force, and its passionate dance with the moon mother might have us fearing that we most certainly will die. Yet, the only thing that is dying here and now is your grasp, your attempts at control. Why? Because your heart is more powerful than your fear, and it wants to live in total trusting surrender of the unfoldment of life's genius. It wants to let life happen to it. Oh, what a wise intention that is. Let me turn the page here. Why seek to impose a smaller and less interesting story upon life when the great master storyteller is weaving a fantastic tale of great love, great adventure, and sublime spiritual success? No, it is wiser, wilder, and more fun to surf the great wave of consciousness seeking to overtake you now. Dive in, beloved, surge with it. You are being given a gift of grace in this oracle, the promise that you won't drown and that you will, in fact, be given a glimpse of your own divinity should you choose to accept whatever will be offered to you. Now, what's so interesting about this is what I just recorded is called a new moon, the mermaid's call. I'm sorry, but you can't make this stuff up, man. Don't try to swim against the tide of your own life journey. Go with it. The divine is there waiting for you, orchestrating waves upon which you may reach the heavenly shore. Yes, the divine is there waiting for you, waiting on a picnic blanket of fabric of the heavens, with a sacred feast of earthly bounty just now being unpacked in your honor. Get yourself into that ocean and ride those waves to your sacred date with the divine right now, sweet beloved. Surfs up. This oracle comes with a message for you. There are changes happening, and they will be out of your control. This is because you are ready for accelerated life change. Rather than paddling, you'll be caught up in a wave and moved farther, faster. Let yourself surge on with the energy of what is happening, leading with your heart and just going with whatever unfolds. This will bring you the best fortune and open you up to the divine destiny that is your birthright this lifetime. Wow. Like I said, man, cannot make this stuff up. I mean, I suppose you could, but I'm not all that great at coming up with stuff like that. I mean, I'm pretty creative sometimes, but not like this. There's no way, because I didn't go in and hand pick these cards knowing what they were gonna say or anything like that. That is just too interesting to me. Wow, what a reading for today. Well, I hope you found this helpful if you were here and live, or if you find this later. I think it's a beautiful reading for what we have going on today. And if you do happen to see this, just keep an eye out. Make sure that you're subscribed and that you've got the notification bell if you do want to participate. And if you don't, aren't and don't wish to subscribe or hit that notification bell, just check in somewhere between 7 and 8. See if I was able to come in and do it, because I would love to have you participate. Until we meet again, I hope that you will move towards that which brings you the greatest joy in each moment that presents itself to you. There is always more than one way to see a thing. And until we meet again, my friends, be well.